There is a known benefit to studying A Course in Miracles, which is navigating forgiveness. But there is another amazing benefit of studying A Course in Miracles that I don't think is covered enough, which is reclaiming our creativity. So if you want to know about reclaiming your creativity, you might want to stick around for this video. Hi, it's Maureen Muldoon. Like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Let's get going. So, reclaiming our creativity is what the peace of God is all about. You know, reclaiming our creativity is where the good stuff lives. And in A Course in Miracles, it invites us to move into and to recognize our creativity. But in fact, it says, child of God, you were created good and beautiful and holy to create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. And then after it says that, the next line is, do not forget this. And why does that line come after it? Do not forget this. Because it's something that we really forget a lot. And today I'm going to be talking about how we move from conforming to creating. So in chapter 2, it says, God extended himself to his creations and imbued them with the same loving will to create. I don't think we hear that enough, that God, we didn't create God in our image, as we like to think we did, like God's just some white guy on a cloud. But God created us in its image. God created us as extensions of itself with the same loving will to create. But here in this world, we, instead of creating, we make things up. So the Course is very clear about the difference between making and creating. Making is something that fear does, and creating is something that we're designed to do. Usually when we're making things up, it's because we've fallen asleep to the truth that you're good, beautiful, and holy, created to create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. So that's the truth that we've fallen asleep to. And how have we fallen asleep to it? Well, we get sung to sleep through songs of the ego. And the ego only has two songs to sing. One is, I'm not worthy, and two is, this is not worthy. So that's the songs that the ego sings. I'm not worthy, and this is not worthy. And when we get to break our fears down to those two silly little songs, it's very easy to begin to wake up. So the song of the Holy Spirit is completely different. The song of the Holy Spirit has three little words that are super easy to remember. And if you don't remember them, I'll give you an acronym. It's one of my favorite tips to give. And it is TIP. This is perfect. And that's how the Holy Spirit, if we allow that song to be sung through us, you'll have to do your own scientific experiment on this one. But this is perfect. You know, so the Holy Spirit sings, this is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. I am perfect. You are perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. Really, you can make up your own tune to the song. But try it out. Try moving through your life saying this is perfect. Even as I say these words, I can almost hear the ego kicking up like, what do you mean? This is not perfect. He's late. He left me. The shoes are too expensive. I don't have money in the bank. Blah, 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 blah. That's what the ego sounds like. A lot of blah, 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 blah. So, imagine if you faced all of those things that we just had, that Rolodex of, you know, bad news buffet, and said to each one, this is perfect. This is for me. I will not be defined or confined by this situation. There are infinite solutions in it. This is the day the Lord has made for me to rejoice and be glad, and I will not be robbed of my peace of mind. And from this place of determined faith, I will see solutions. I don't know. Try that on. See if that works. What it comes down to is that fear makes things up, and it fractures. It fractures our mind, and it fractures our experiences, and it fractures us into teeny particles and pieces. Whereas love, which is who we are and what we are, creates, and it extends, and it includes everyone. So it's the difference between heaven and hell. Now, here's the good news. You may think like, oh, but Maureen, I've been making shit up my whole life. Like, how am I supposed to give that up? Like, it's my protective device. It's my security blanket. And I don't even know how to create. And we hear a million songs of like, I can't do that. I'm not good at that. So everyone is creative. Even if you feel like you've been making shit up your whole life and you haven't really recognized your spiritual capacities, you can start today. You can start to dust off that old story and resurrect and revitalize your creative nature. I mean, look, according to A Course in Miracles, we're actually all beautiful artisans who have fallen asleep to our creative nature and our creative inheritance, and we've begun to outsource our potential. So, and become consumers as opposed to creators, conformers as opposed to creators. So, we want to take back that power and recognize the truth of our being, that we are actually creators. And even if you think of the word consumer as opposed to creator, like the consumer wants to go out and consume and bring into itself. The creator wants to extend. And in that way, the creator is twice blessed, because once it comes through you, then it goes out into the world. So a lot of times we think creator is connected to artist, and I'm not an artist. But we are all actually artists and artisans of our own lives. Here's a few little ways that you can begin to resuscitate your inner creator. 1, start creating conversations. Actually have conversations with people. Conversations are super creative, and they happen because you're asking somebody questions about themselves or a situation, and you're coming with an open mind, and you begin to create this beautiful experience of a conversation. Conversations are a dying art form, but I feel like they're having a comeback. You could create a random act of creativity by creating a crazy little postcard. We got this book, it's a cute little book of postcards, and they're all things that you can kind of color in and send somebody a love note. It doesn't have to be as awesome as my squirrel. My father hated squirrels, so I was going to send this to my sister as a joke. But you can create a postcard. Super simple to create a postcard. Again, a form of connection. And like, when's the last time you got a postcard? Like, isn't it kind of fun to like, oh my God, somebody sent me a postcard. How random, how wonderful. And another suggestion to resurrect your creativity is to join a group of creators. There's a ton of them online, you know, people who get together and do improv, or people who get together and do baking or talk about spirituality. There's tons of little nooks and crannies that you could join to find your tribe. One that I joined recently was a knitting circle. And so I started knitting. I'm not great at it. And that's the thing about creativity, is that the thing that prevents us from it is that we go, well, if I'm not perfect, I don't want to do it. But, you know, we all get to come with beginner mind to new opportunities, and let yourself be a fish out of water. Like, let yourself be the new kid. Let yourself be the beginner mind. There's something so beautiful about that, because when I walked into this knitting circle of these women who were sincere knitters, they were like, oh, come on in, honey, let me help you, and I'll show you how to do this. And allowing other people to help you invigorates their purpose in life. To ask people for help gives other people the ability to feel helpful. And A Course in Miracles says that we're here only to be truly helpful. And why is that? Why is it so good to be helpful? In our ability to give and receive help, that's where the miracle lives. The miracle lives right there in the sweet spot of our ability to give and receive help. And finally, one last thing that you can create is to create a little stillness in your life. Just allow yourself to create open spaces for you to just be. That's a really hard one for all of us, because we are addicted consumers as opposed to radical creators. But we're moving towards our awakening together. So I'm going to be doing more videos on creativity. If you like them, give it the thumbs up, give us the like, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe. I love you guys.